Welcome to the 2015-2016 NBA preview. Today we're going to be covering the Charlotte Hornets. We ranked them at number 22. My name is Josh, your Enviers, and today with me is my co-host, like usual.
Yo, what's up, everybody? It's the one and only legend of winning, a.k.a. Low. Man, a lot of these teams, man, we really going through the trenches, through these bad teams, and here goes another one. But, it is what it is. We're going to make our way through it.
Let's take a look at what the Charlotte Hornets did leading up to this season.
Charlotte Hornets, a team that, is kind of trying to find their footing. A lot of power forwards have been in and out of the lineup over the past couple of years, especially since Al Jefferson has been there. Made the playoffs 2 years ago in the 8th seed, lost to actually was it 8, maybe an 8th or 7th, but I do remember they played Miami.
When they were the Bobcats, they got swept. Al Jefferson got hurt.
They were the Bobcats, got swept by Miami. But ever since that year, I thought that they were really going to piece something together, especially with Al Jefferson kind of making a staple there for his career. Unfortunately, though,
getting Lance
Stevenson messed everything up because Lance Stevenson just is the chemistry killer on this squad. So Lance Stevenson kind of messed the whole groove up of last year. A couple people got injured. Al Jefferson didn't play as many games as he probably thought he was, and a lot of in and out players as well. But that kind of just leads us to where we're at right now, where I think a lot of players are being asked to put a tad bit more weight on their shoulders, and we'll see how they react to it.
So now if we take a look at the Charlotte Hornets summer acquisitions, they did a lot this offseason. They acquired Nicholas Batum, Jeremy Lin, and Spencer Hawes from the Los Angeles Clippers. Along with Jeremy Lamb, too. That's actually it's decent what they got, but they lost a lot more as well.
Yeah, and this is what I said before. The reason why I said that they're putting a lot of weight on some players' shoulders, and I guess we're really going to find out what these players are made out of. Even though they added a lot, players like Spencer Hawes and Jeremy Lin, and unfortunately even Nicholas Batum, they're not really going to change the dynamic of this team so much.
I mean, Jeremy Lamb, Kemba Walker, the Connecticut connection, maybe a little bit more chemistry on this team.
Yeah, a tad bit more chemistry, and I think, I don't know, that whole Lance Stevenson just throwing him on the team, and that really didn't work out. I think that's the reason why it was just this huge overhaul of players. But this is a team that, did a lot of moving and brought on more pieces that really isn't going to help the overall outcome of the season.
Now, if we take a look at what they lost Gerald Henderson, Lance Stevenson, obviously, Noah Vonleh, Mo Williams, Jeff Taylor, and Bismack Biyombo.
Again, lost a lot of basically just role players and brought in more role players just to kind of
gave up a little bit too early on Vonleh, in my opinion. But
I agree as well. A lot of just trading of these players just to get back, I guess, Spencer Hawes, because they thought that was going to, I don't know. I mean,
Frank Kaminsky is basically the better version of Spencer Hawes, in my opinion. So, it's questionable.
Yeah, but even, players like Gerald Henderson, I think his value was most definitely understated with the Charlotte team and what he was able to do. Even though it wasn't really much, he was efficient for his time being here. But as just an overall, they lost players that really didn't matter too much, and the game players that really don't matter too much. So we're really going to see, like I said before, what some of these main players, what they're going to have to offer.
Now, the draft picks that the Hornets selected were Frank Kaminsky, and they traded on draft night for Aaron Harrison. So it's nice to see Kentucky and a Wisconsin player on the same team. In a year or two, Frank Kaminsky will probably even take that power forward position, depending on, if Cody Zeller's still there. Because
no, he will. The only reason why you draft Frank Kaminsky is because of the geometry on the court and the spacing. That's
along with just the way the NBA is going with the stretch fours now. Yeah. So.
Especially if you got Kia Gilchrist still in the team, you need
more
shooting. Yeah, you need as much shooting as you can on the court. So it just makes sense to draft Kaminsky, and I think it's an extremely good draft pick. But besides that, I'm not too fond of Aaron Harrison myself. So, but it is what it is.
Now let's take a look at the rotation. The starters for the Charlotte Hornets are Al Jefferson, Cody Zeller, Michael Kidd-Gilchrist, Nicholas Batum, and Kemba Walker.
Again, a lot of players that I'm not too certain about. But Kidd-Gilchrist going to bring the defense, but not shoot. Batum, he's an all-around just solid player, but he wasn't the most efficient last year.
He could disappear. Yeah, but then when he's there, Yeah, and he's usually making buckets.
He most definitely is a difference maker when he's attentive and he's actually on the court being productive and making, plays. But Kemba Walker, I have my tips about him. But in a general sense,
he's a starter in the league. You can't take that away from him.
Guess we'll have to figure that out later on. But yeah, I mean, it's a solid starting lineup, I guess.
Let's take a look at the bench. Spencer Hawes, Frank Kaminsky for the time being, Marvin Williams, Jeremy Lamb, and Jeremy Lin. To be totally honest with you, I really want to see Jeremy Lamb succeed, whether coming off the bench or possibly even a starter role. I really liked him in Houston with the Summer League team until he got traded to OKC. OKC really, I didn't see much of Jeremy Lamb in like big minutes. So I'm eager to see what happens with the Hornets for Jeremy Lamb.
Here's a thing that really just messes up this team when there's a lack of development. Kid Gilchrist, if he could shoot, just think of the possibility of putting Batum at 3.
I mean, he's getting there.
I mean, he's getting there,
there.
but he's not such of a threat to where you can't like flex a lineup where you put him at 4, Batum at 3, and then put Jeremy Lamb in actually in the starting lineup, and then you can have a 3-guard rotation against Kemba Walker, Lin, and Lamb, and then kind of run a stretch, a little like a stretch 4 type of role where you don't even have to play Cody Zeller at the power 4. You can actually put him at 5. And then just have shooters at the power 4 so you can space it out for Al Jefferson. But unfortunately, due to a lack of, just progression in their game, they kind of get stuck with this lineup.
Definitely a big improvement in his jumper from when he first got into the NBA.
Man, he couldn't go nowhere else but up when you started from the bottom.
So now this leads us to the question around the Charlotte Hornets.
So if you watched this video before, you watched the series before, you already know what the question is. Something that I asked you, the viewer, based on the team that we are referenced to, and also I asked Josh. We answer it, and always, like I always say, always say, please leave your comment in the comment section below. My big question with this team, and I don't think a lot of people are willing to admit it, because Josh kind of said it himself, but the lack of development between Kemba Walker and Michael Kidd-Gilchrist is kind of shocking to me. Kidd-Gilchrist literally shot 0% from 3 last year. You know why he shot 0% from 3 last year? Because he didn't even attempt a 3 last year, and that's outrageous to me. In the NBA where spacing is everything, the fact that we have players in today's NBA that play like they're in the 70s or even in the 50s where there's just no 3-point line that's even on a court, that's mind-boggling. At that point, he just needs to play power forward and be a hustle player. But when it comes to Kemba Walker, I think it is extremely evident that there is this lack of development in his game. His efficiency continues to drop. He's not really making the plays that a point guard should be making. And what's crazy is they kind of really put all their eggs into his basket, and he's kind of letting them down. So with that being said, Josh, you think that they continue to keep Kemba Walker and Kidd-Gilchrist, or do you think they trade one of them within the next year or two?
In a year or two, I could easily see one of them leaving. I don't see both of them leaving unless they just completely do awful this season and they want to explode the whole team. It's really a tough question because I like both players. I like what they do. They might not be a great overall player, but they're great at one thing. So,
what is Kemba Walker great at?
He's great at clutch shots. A very, very clutch player.
I'm not sold on Kemba Walker, man. Like his field goal percentage.
I mean, there's worse point guards in the league,
Yeah, but are they starting? Is there that many worse starting point guards?
Yeah.
Is there?
Jameer Nelson, Ricky Rubio.
I mean, yeah. I guess you're right. But for what they're really looking out of him, because I'm assuming that they're believing that he's going to be part of their franchise. At least how I come across to the point where they got to right now. I mean, they got rid of DJ Augustine and a lot of other potential point guards, and they didn't even draft other guards to kind of, wing him into the right direction. They just basically got rid of a lot of people just to say yo, you're going to be our guy and you need to go out there and produce, and he's not doing so. And when it comes to Kidd-Gilchrist, like I said before, man, there's absolutely no reason why in today's NBA he should not be able to shoot the basketball. Because at that point, your value just goes out the window. But for that reason, he's on Michael Jordan's good side, and Michael Jordan sees a lot of potential in him. But I don't really see it. And because of that, he'll probably stay on the team. But I think Kemba Walker's kind of looking at his last few days on the Hornets.
It all depends on what Al Jefferson does at the end of the season as well. Now on to the predictions for the Charlotte Hornets this season.
A team that is trying to piece something together, but I think everybody kind of understands how I feel about this team. A lot of loose ends that I think that they need to be ready to let go and just cut off and kind of move forward without them. And once that's being done, said, I think they'll be able to piece together a more valuable team moving forward.
I like the overall team for the Hornets. The backup center could probably be improved, and the void at small forward just to get some shooters, because looking at this bench, they only have they have Troy Daniels.
They had Troy Daniels.
PJ Harrison, Jeremy Lamb. Even their bigs are shooters, which is kind of odd. I would feel there should be a need for a more traditional backup big for Al Jefferson, because they obviously have Frank Kaminsky and Cody Zeller. Although he's not a 3-point shooter, he could shoot some mid range.
Yeah, I guess I know that the reason why they got shooting bigs is just to really surround Al Jefferson so they can space it correctly. But it is what it is.
So I'd like to thank you guys for watching. If you can leave a like on this video, it'd be greatly appreciated. Share it with your friends, because it takes a lot of time and effort to make these videos.
Yeah, man, it takes a lot of time and effort. Thank you for watching, as always. Please share it. Please leave a comment in the comment section below, because we want to, we want y'all to be a part of this as well. We're going to most definitely respond. And what do you think about the question and things like that? But just thank y'all for watching, man. We're really at this point deep into it, and looking at the rest of this teams, we're getting there. A few more teams, a few more, but then we're really getting there. We're getting there, man.
So with that said, talk to you guys later. Bye bye.
Bye, guys. Bye.